Okay, maybe we should start now. It's already time. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. It is the closing session of Uncanny Dream online program on Ars Electronica. Now tonight we are going to have the series of artist talks by our participating artists. By the Grey Cake Duet and by the Mitri Gramkoff. The Uncanny Dream project is created by me and Helena Nikanole. It is Ars Electronic Garden Moscow. Our event is taking place in hybrid format. On-site exhibition is accessible at Electron Museum here in Moscow. And the online version is accessible on the website uncannydream.com. The show is dedicated to the issues and challenges faced by the society during the pandemic. And one of the key motives of the exhibition is a metaphor of a dream or of a nightmare. So of the artworks presented at the show, they are kind of fixing this uncanny feeling of anxiety and of these new norms that are now formulating with the rapid changes of the world. Yes, maybe now we should proceed with the artist talks. We have 1 hour for everything. In case of question, please ask the artist right after the presentations or use chat. We will read all questions and answer them. Sasha, please let me know if we should wait for Katya or you will make a presentation by yourself.
No, hello, we are both here.
Hello.
Here. Great. Maybe we should start with your presentation. How do you think about it?
Yes, sure, let's start.
One moment.
One moment, please. Do you see it well?
Yes, yes.
Cool. So yeah, let's start maybe just introducing us a little bit. We are Alexander Syuchenko and Katya Pryanishnikova. Katya Pryanik is your artistic nickname.
Yeah.
So we started working together 3 years ago, and Katya's background is making a manual photo printing
I'm based
techniques.
on manual printing techniques and installation and video and strange images. Sasha is a programmer and musician.
So we started mixing our backgrounds, and that was a journey to something where we're crossing the mediums, crossing the disciplines, and even it's a challenge for us to say what exactly do we cross: human cultures, non-human cultures, like everything that could have give us something new, something that didn't exist before this crossing. So we call this approach as cross-mediality. And what this approach gives us, we will present in the next 50 minutes.
Yeah, and we want to show you some project.
It was our first project that we made together. No, it was second, sorry.
Second, yes.
But we skipped first. So it was game over, and we was working with techniques that call freeze light by making the LED, programmed LED panel that we use to make these freeze light photos of real soldiers in Vladivostok fortress for 100 years ago photos. That
we worked with archive photographies and included in
and we include real persons in a place and when they was 100 years ago, so it is a mixture between historical reflection and some new technologies of using the light and using the camera. It's not a Photoshop, it's just a long time shot of photo, and this programming LED, you can see this flicks and blicks on the objects from these LEDs, that we really like this aesthetics of in between the technology and the history, let's call it this way. Yep. And the next one we did, we try to mix up the VR and the documentary. It's become popular now, but 2 years ago it wasn't really the case in the art world to make to use VR to represent something real. It was mostly used to represent something wow and cosmic, fantastic
or games,
and that's give this impression. So Katya was in a hospital and we scanned the real hospital room in far
Vladivostok.
east, Vladivostok city, and it became. Do you hear some voices?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a documentary about the woman Nina who was in this hospital together with Katya, and it consists of her life stories of something that's really impressive for Far East woman in the old age. She's telling her life for half an hour speak, and you are.
Yeah, I recorded a lot of
material.
voices, yes, material.
And oops.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, that was a mixture of, as we said, VR and documentary, and that was something that we like as approach as well. Next is Vremyanka.
We're still hearing the sound. We're still hearing the sound from the previous video.
Oh, really? I will restart.
It's okay now.
It's okay now. Sorry. Make it this way, share sound. Okay, that's it. Next one we do, it's was our second project where we started working with neural networks, and it's easier to show up this thing first and then explain. So yeah, during the watching, we will explain what's exactly going on here. We like the algorithm pix-to-pix by converting one image of simple geometrical shapes into the images of that reminds us the facades of the house, the facades of the streets, and we really like this animation style that we get by this technique.
Looks like cartoon.
Looks like animation cartoon, or that have been drawn by pencil or something like that. And this approach gives us a really nice technique to use in live performances later, but this kind of thing, it's our released video we made presented on the facades of real houses and just some images, and even we did one installation that are interactive, that
audio visual performance,
and also as well as an interactive thing where visitors in the audience could participate, could interact with the video web camera and see the results, that they draw something and put some objects on the table and see how it reflects on the image on the right. So, and we presented on Lead Technique. It was a really strange thing to participate in a technical technical event, huge one in Moscow, and a lot of people asking what for. They said it's not something, it's not a utilitarian thing. It's just for the aesthetics and beauty. They smile, and it's interesting also to interact with such a thing. The next one we want to tell you about is the Psja Phenomena. It's a project when we start working with video and translate it to transform these videos in static objects. Our goal was to present something as some dynamic process as static sculpture, to see something that we could not see as when we watch the movies. Psja Phenomena is a psychological phenomenon about such a thing, that our mentality sometimes is not enough to analyze something. And you could also, if you have an iOS mobile phone, like iPhone or iPad, something like this, you can scan this QR code and place the sculpture inside your house. So we somehow intrude in your house right now if you try it. And thanks for watching. You could just scan it and see it later. And the next thing is the value.
This is some work with neural network. We based on big database on herbarium. I forgot.
It's a New York Botanical Garden.
Yes.
They released a huge data set of the images of the plants that have been scanned. So we train our neural network algorithm to reproduce this kind of shapes, this kind of images, and that was for us something really interesting to see how neural network will analyze.
Can imagine new plants maybe
that are not exist at all.
Synthetic plants.
And for sounds, we use here a recording of the birds, of nightingale exactly, and we transform this sound into violin sound by another neural network algorithm. So it became kind of new academical music or something like this. Let's watch a little and we'll continue.
So the music is pre-recorded or generated somehow?
It's generated. We use a real recording of the nightingale song, of the birds, and then we use it to transform to violin sound, viola, or cello, not violin, cello. It's called cello, and so it's kind of transferring some melody or something into opposite domain of something academical. So it was generated by
algorithm.
Yeah, it's means to generate it. Yeah. Okay. And last year we also participated in Ars Electronica festival, also in Moscow, also in Electromuseum, also with great curators that we have now, and it was a backlash project that was dedicated to some protests events happening in post-Soviet era territory. So we trained the neural network to distinguish persons on the photo, the policemen and protesters. So it was a case to build up a new database because we didn't find any open source database that having policemen included and marked as well.
Yeah, it was really hard work because we use hand
manual job, manual work.
Yeah.
To draw up, to distinguish policemen and protesters, and then
to cut it.
And then it gives us an algorithm that are drawing the color area on top of everybody on this video or image, except the policemen. So it could be used to fastly remove any person in the video, but keep the policemen still appear on this photo. And it's literally something that works not really stable, but it depends on database as well, and it's mostly a manifestation of using technologies not against the civil society, but for the forces of civil society, giving additional instruments to control the police, to give some feedback, and also as a backlash to the government forces on these protests. And the last one that we want to talk is a project that we are presenting on the current Ars Electronica, an Uncanny Dream exhibition. It was made by in a collaboration that we will in collaboration with Campus Biotech in Geneva, and during the Embassy of Foreign Artists Art and Science residency program, and also with great help of Fluxum Foundation, sorry, and
Canton of
Geneva, and Canton Geneva and Pro Helvetia as well. So this project is about algorithmic unconscious, how we call it. We are reflecting the idea that everybody's working in the artificial intelligence field, trying to represent something like intelligence, like a conscious activity of the human. But while we are building this conscious machine, as well, transferring our unconscious things, and literally current researchers of the field of artificial intelligence mentioned a lot that we have found some biases inside machines. We can say that we also transfer our unconsciousness inside the machine.
And we work with laboratory of dreams, and we worked with huge database dreams, human dreams, with texts.
It's a textual database of the dream reports of the real persons.
Yes.
And we trained, it was 35 approximately thousands of dreams in this database. So we trained neural network to reproduce new dream plots. And we was quite surprised by this because these dream plots were really indistinguishable from the humans' dreams. They have the same narration, same things that was removed from the memory, some sexual perversion, and everything that we have in our dreams arose. And we use these new texts we also want this text to become visualized, because when we watch dreams, we are really watch them. We see some images, some objects. And we use another algorithm to make some images that represents these dream plots. And here you can see the examples of these images that we made from this. And
yes, also we created manual printed books with synthetic dreams and synthetic pictures, but we are printed
manually.
Yes.
The thing that we want to make this book was to address something physical, something that exists in the real world. When we take a book any book in our hands, we immediately, by our cultural code or something, start to imagine the person who wrote it. Like we talk with somebody, or we see somebody's journal of dreams or anything else. And
some dream diary. but
Yeah, like a dream diary.
non-human.
But yeah, that's a non-human diary.
It's a big question.
Who wrote this?
Yeah.
Who see these dreams? And did this person or non-person see these dreams? And we like this open question without answer at all.
And we want to, yes.
We want to show you one dream.
I was driving a small bus around the lake. I had my bag package strapped to my back and a pencil case. We were going a little slower, and the road kept going in the opposite direction. The drivers were smiling, making it difficult for me to stop. I was in a hurry to get home. We couldn't stop until we stopped and turned around. We were going very fast. We were going at the speed of a motorcycle. It was a very fast ride. I was very happy. I was glad. I had driven fast. I was afraid of anything. I was ready to go home.
Yeah, that's one of the examples of the full narration of one dream. And we asked the scientist with whom we was working there in Geneva to read this text, and we like how scientists become a theatrical, artistical people, like trying to read it really with emotion, with all of the things. And yeah, you could see these images, you could see these videos in the exhibition, and we're as well saying many thanks to all the collaborators of this project. That's it. I think, yeah, that's what we wanted to tell you about. Here is our Instagram. Please, what is it? Oh, I forgot the English word.
Please follow us.
Follow us, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Actually, Malena has texted us in chat where can you buy this book? Maybe on your website or on Instagram.
We made only 5 of these books. And these books are artistic books that are made only for one purpose, to be presented on exhibition as an object, because it's fully manual job to make, manual work to make it, even to glue these books and print everything, etc. So we decided to keep it really limited edition, that we keep for 2 of the books, Russian and English one, for the exhibitions, and 3 of them are in the archives of our collaborators of this project.
Maybe I can create this book little later, but not now.
Anyway, I will post your email here in chat. Thank you very much for presentation. I think the most interesting in this project is that you kind of mix these digital and physical environments. So even about this book, you said that it's very important to have a physical object. That is definitely a strong side of your practice, as I see it. I like it very, very much. And the backlash project is super powerful, like very, very powerful and strong. One of the best.
Ars Electronica, because we created this project Backlash special for
that exhibition.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
really?
Yeah.
That was special work for this kind of
cool. Cool. And how long did it take to create it? Previous year?
Oh,
2 months.
2 months, I think. I think, it was a technical research for 2 weeks, and then 1 month and a little bit more for making the data sets for this kind of training data set for these algorithms.
And a lot of tests.
A lot of tests, yeah.
And the video recordings, did you made it by yourself, or they are like downloadable from the internet?
No, download from the internet. Yeah, it was totally from the internet.
Okay. Do we have any more questions for the Grey Cake? Do it.
Yes, I wanted to ask. I didn't hear these illustrations in books. It was made by machine or by you, by hands?
It was made by machine, but printed by hands by Katya.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, it looks like very great illustrations.
Yeah, drawing.
Cool.
Like drawing
Yeah,
of
yeah,
something.
like drawing.
It's a cultural code of the manual printing, of the using inks to make prints. So it's give us a sense of something that made by human, but it was synthetic generated images by our algorithm.
Yeah, it's cool, amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, in case of questions, please use chat. We will answer them, I think, maybe later now. Or any comments, impressions, please let us know. Maybe we should now proceed to the second speaker. Alexander, Katya, thank you very much for the presentation. It was a pleasure to listen to your artist talk.
Thank you a lot. It was a pleasure for us too.
Yeah.
Thank you. So now I'm gonna give the words to Mitri Gramkoff. Mitri is an artist and musician. Also, he has a PhD in history. And as an artist, Mitri works with sound art and objects, as well as video and installation. So please, Mitri, can you please show your presentation?
Hello, everybody. I tried to share my screen.
Yes, we see it.
It's okay?
Yes, yes.
I'll tell you about my project called Psja Phenomena. I used the Google Translator to try to find some words or phrases in the pictures. I took the title from one phrase that the translator found in the picture, Psja Phenomena. At first, I thought for a long time how to name my work. And conditional name was just translator, but I wanted something more abstract, so that the name does not give out the whole idea at once. And besides, this is work about text in art, and I like that name Psja Phenomena is such abracadabra and not something conceptual. I also like that because there is a Dada in this word, as Oksana said, and Dadaism was my first great love in art. It all started one evening in 18th year when I was sitting at home and watched a book with the works of Theophan the Greek. Then I tried to scan one of the pictures with the Google Translator, and it began to find words in the graphic image. My first thought was, wow, it's some magic or mystic what's happened. But of course, I realized that this was just a mistake, an algorithm error. And it's interesting that in 2021st year, in this year, the translator could not longer find the words in this picture. The program has become smarter. So I returned this project in this year and started trying to find words in different pictures, first in books, and then I went to museums. The fact is that earlier I really liked conceptual art. I loved the words, the texts, and it was no problem for me to compose a text or explication for something. But lately, when I see in galleries, for example, some kind of ready-made and a large text to explain the idea, I don't like it. In my opinion, there is some kind of substitution. Of course, art can be different, but what matters to me is how the work of art looks like. And for me, it's always about visual. It's very important for me. This is about visuality and not about text. And in my opinion, sometimes there is some kind of substitution of art for philosophy, activism, science, or something else. And there's jokes among artists that it's imperative to insert some thought from books of Deleuze or Derrida in the explication, and it will be good. I decided to give up pictures with people or real texts. It seems to me that it's more interesting for the program to see the text where there's none. Sometimes translator found funny and interesting phrases in the pictures, like, for example, I have fun on this, and the victory of the show, or this phrase, human beings in Vereshchagin's painting present trophies with a lot of heads of dead men. It was also interesting to see how the program breaks graphic design on cool posters. This is Typomania, a graphic design festival and exhibition in Moscow. And now I'll tell you a little about my other projects. If you have any question about this work, you can ask. Or later, okay. This is Gnezdin. This work about myth, about nest, and this reflection and investigation of the history of Russian states culture on the basis of memoirs of Russian immigrants of the beginning of the 20th century. This project is based on my dissertation.
So it is going to be the series of these handmade wood sculptures.
Yes, I made two objects. Now they are both at two different exhibitions, and fortunately I don't have any good photos yet. They are made from old bird houses that my grandfather made about half a century ago. And I used a burner to add the names of the old estates. And the use of fire in this case is also very important because many estates were burned during the revolution. Mm-hmm. And now the fire brings back the memory of them. The construction of the objects are based on the construction of old icons called skladin. Those icons were used for the travelers, and this correlates well with the theme of immigration. Immigrants took and preserved the memory of the manor culture, while many estates in Russia were destroyed. The back of the Gnezdins is painted with gold paint as a reminder of the value of those nests, but this gold is hidden. And another project that I want to tell you about is a barrel harp. It's musical instruments, very big, very analog. And I don't want to talk a lot about it, but I try to show you parts of the video. You see that?
Yes, yes, and here.
Cool. And this barrel was exhibited at the Electra Museum, where the Uncanny Dream is now, exactly 1 year ago.
Time circle.
Yeah. It's a field records 1 year ago. It's a long video and it,
Barrel is a wonderful form for sound. Do you plan to use the sound somehow else from these field recordings or only for this object?
it was present like object and like a video, this video, but I plan to record maybe some album, maybe some soundtrack. Some people say that it sounds like Jim Jarmusch soundtrack.
Actually, yes, reminds somehow about his movies.
Yeah, it was first presentation in Moscow barrel. I made this barrel in my village in Vladimir region during this COVID pandemic.
Ah, okay, so you made it.
And this the final of my first barrel. I presented the second barrel, and this first barrel without bottom, it was finished. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I like how you work with these abundant things, like like different types of them.
Yeah.
Abandoned things and old materials with memory and cultural heritage. It seems like your theme.
Yes, yes. I really like to combine this old and new. I think it's working good.
Yes, it's very visible. And it is also, as for me, it is always done with very delicate approach. So you don't make it very like flat. It looks very delicate, I would say.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions or impressions or comments? Okay, we have some time left. I'm thinking maybe we can ask Mitri and Sasha to show us the videos. The videos of the Dream of the Machine project and the video from the Oksau Davda. just to finish the artist talk and maybe have some time to think about the presentations and maybe type some comments or questions.
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
It's not the question, it's just a suggestion. Maybe we can now watch online, like with the screen share, the videos, the Oksao Dada and the Dream of the Machine video.
Yeah, we are pretty ready to show up.
Yes, maybe you the link
or to just to share or share video.
Share. Just share.
Okay.
So we also have a video screening session now.
I was in a garden. I was in a garden. It was a large one among the trees. I was watering the plants. I looked to see if a rainstorm was coming. I was in the garden alone. I was talking to a friend. She asked me how I was doing. I told her that something had happened and she was trying to hurry out to the store. She told me that I needed to go back and get everything ready for the store. I saw that the rain was coming and I wanted to hurry. I went to see if there was more rain. I looked up at the sky. It was cloudless and there was no clouds. I thought it was going to rain. I felt very calm. I felt that I was waiting for something. A grandmother is a little person with a little head. She is in a little house. She is a little girl. I know her. She is very old. But as I am standing there, I notice she is young. I am shocked. I have no idea how old she is. I am not surprised. I can't remember her birthday, but I know it was in the last year. I don't remember her name, but I know it was Mrs. R. They have a little baby, and I am very sad to see it. It's the first year of a new baby. I can't remember a name of a new baby because I don't remember her name. I realize that I have to do something with this little baby. I can't remember how to, or even if there is such a thing, so I try to think of a way to do it. I'm not sure. I think I need to put the baby down and give it to the old lady. She insisted the baby was her.
It's a beautiful summer day and the sun is shining. The air is a warm, clear air with a hint of cloud in the sky. I walk along a lake in a rural area. It is a very peaceful place to be. I begin to walk on a path that goes straight down the deep, deep lake. As I walk along this path, I notice some animals in the water that are swimming around and swooping down to dive under the surface. They seem to be all kinds of animals, but the ones that I am able to catch and swim around on the light blue and white water surface are all white. A small child is following me. I realize that it is a child and I run to the side of the lake to catch him. The child is that he is trying to be. I walk up the side of the lake and I see that he is trying to get under the surface, but he is not successful. He's getting past things that are in the water. He's trying to be cute and I don't like that. He changes his stance so that I can catch him and he's able to swim. I try catching him but I can't. I'm very frustrated and angry and I yell at him and he says, "You're not going to catch me. I'm just going to get through the water." I yell and tell him that I don't think he's going to be able to, but I do think I can at least try. I get up and tell him that I can't catch him, that I just can't have him swimming. I tell him that I'll get off at the end and finish up at the beginning again. I think that he says this because he has a very high sense of courage. I know that he's going to take me to the end and that I don't want to get off at the end.
I was driving a small bus around the lake. I had my bag package strapped to my back and a pencil case. We were going a little slower, and the road kept going in the opposite direction. The drivers were smiling, making it difficult for me to stop. I was in a hurry to get home. We couldn't stop until we stopped and turned around. We were going very fast. We were going at the speed of a motorcycle. It was a very fast ride. I was very happy. I was glad. I had driven fast. I was afraid of anything. I was ready to go home.
I was on an airplane, a pretty big plane, measuring scale with a flat top. The plane was very old. Somehow, it landed somewhere, and once it got airborne, you were aware that you were in a place that wasn't too pure air. The plane slowly turned its nose to the right, and as it did so, it came down and crashed, killing the four of us. All of us. We didn't have any idea what happened, and we didn't think that we were in the air anymore.
I have some small toy snakes in a bag. I'm packing to go home and I'm trying to find a place to sleep. I have to move all the food I want to eat in a small room. I go to sleep with a crocodile's head in my mouth. I wake up and realize that the crocodile has eaten my tooth. I feel horrified. I see my little sister and I ask her about the tooth. She says, "It is okay, but it is gone now." I say that it is my fault.
I was a member of a group that was trying to fish in the boat. We were in the water and the boat was wasting away. I don't remember what happened, but it seemed to be at a very high tide. I was in the boat and there was a huge wave coming right towards us. There was no warning and I had to run for cover. As I tried to get away, I saw a huge white large shark swimming up and down the river and was about 2 feet long. It was covered by a big dorsal fin, and in a second it swam over the bank and it was covered by the same fin. It was very frightening. I decided to run for my life, so I was going to dive for the shore. I was only a little boy then. The shark was a very large shark and I thought I would be killed by it. The shark was staring at me and I didn't want to die. I remember seeing the shark's eye look like a big and scary eye. I looked away as it came towards me and I told the man that I felt sorry for it and it was looking at me. I was afraid of the shark.
I was in the desert and it was night. I was alone in the bedroom. A pair of hands came down the bed and grabbed me and held me. I felt that I was being trapped by the dark hands. I screamed for help. Someone came and rescued me. I saw the man, and he was a man. I stayed with him, but I seemed not to remember anything else. I felt that he was a sad man because his wife died and he had to die.
I am with a group of people. We are all dressing up and going on a trip. We are going to be out in the country. We are going to be on a raft. We are going on a dirt road with a lot of people on it. We are all on a river raft. I'm wearing a black cloak. I'm standing on a rock and I'm wearing a red, long-sleeved shirt. We are all standing on a rock and a guy is standing on the water. The water is very deep. It's so deep that it's like a river rushing through the water. I see the water, and I see a huge predator fish that looks like a giant squid swimming near the water. I look down to see the water moving and thinking about how big the fish is. I see a fish that looks like a fish that is at least bigger than me. I see the fish and think, oh no, it's stuck in the water and I will get stuck forever. I see the fish and I see the monster fish and it has been caught and I'm concerned. I see the fish and I see a big monster fish and I'm very alarmed.
I was having a conversation with a woman who has a very large, flat, round, oval, square, or oval head. The face was quite ugly and had a white lower lip and yellow eyes. I was going to ask her question, what is the meaning of life? I was thinking about the meaning of life. I stated that it was a question that could lead to life. Then I asked her what it was and if it was the meaning of life. I didn't have any further interest in her. I seemed rather disappointed about the answer she gave.
I was wearing a light blue suit. I'm not wearing a tie. I look over my shoulder at the books and I say I will come back. I return to my books and I see the library has moved. The rooms that used to be on the first floor, the ones I used to go to, are in the new section called the furniture. I look at the old library and I see things I've been looking at for years. I say I like that. I see a case with books on it. I say I will go look for that book. I see an old desk with lots of drawers. I'm surprised. I thought the library had been remodeled. A woman is talking to me about the library. I told her I used to go there a lot and used to be a student there. I tell her I used to be a teacher, and she says she used to be a librarian too. She was very interested in the history of the library. I take a book and I look at it. I see a family of cats sitting on the floor. It is very pretty. I say I don't know if I can find that book. I look around and there are a lot of books on the shelves. I see a baby and I put the book on the shelf. I see the shelf. I see a motion picture poster. I see a picture of a baby cat. I feel slightly embarrassed. I go back to the books and I see a small children's picture book.
The images are just so vivid. It is so beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank
very
you
amazing.
very much for showing us. Just great. And the voices, they were recorded by the professors from Switzerland, right?
Yes, right.
Professors and assistant workers, scientists who are working
With us.
Yeah, who worked with us.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
Okay, we have kind of 10 minutes till the ending now. Maybe we can watch Aksau Dauda video. I will post the link to the chat. Oops. Mitri, it's not working, you know?
What?
It's not working.
Why?
No sound, you haven't chosen it while
Yes.
sharing.
Okay.
Now?
Yes.
Sorry.
Maybe we should use the YouTube link because just in Claire it looks like cropped on the screen. It looks cropped.
Just a moment. And now?
Yeah, it would be better. And full screen.
It's full screen. Yeah.
Mhm.
ชาญจนาราชชาญ555 Key of the hard drive ชชารานโอดอกจันคอ55ราชชาราชน5 XKKX 5,863,451 56K 558544185 M Wu can be NPPE close nearly Wu HB M side G back to G mutual Wu G M Wu and each other Must face Wu 1555 close to each other FIEIPHHCO Shattered Sorrento 5 license and 555 can be Wu and Wu L A mutual and mutual 5555 can be and 5555 original M. T. S8. R. How. NH, is, AG、ナンさん、72,222、772、778、7222、770、72,277Z、1222、P、N、N、N、N、N、N、N、ヒューマンビーイングズ、ヒューマンビーイングズ、サンクソーソー。スンソリー。南進。N、N。スンソー。10N。おう。
MET. Pilot. Icandi. ETLE. Iliadli. LL Sherm. 1111 Lilium.
Chant. The victory of the show. Play satire and travel card shoot. Is one. Четыре тысячи 444. D-O, D-D-D, D-D-D-D, D-O-U, D-D-D-D-D-D, S-O-E-O-X-O-E-O-X-O-X-O-Y-O-X-C. قسم الأرورا أرى.
I had fun.
Oh my God, this is so much fun. Like it tries to give a statement to everything, to describe it, and it very fun attempt for a machine. It's kind of hacking the online translator. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, in case of we have no questions, I think this is the ending of the Uncanny Dream online program and the end of the artist talk. Thank you very much all for coming, and let's keep in touch. See you. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.